Hi, this is Sonia with Artsy Solutions, and today I want to show you how to make this almost no-sew journal. And I'll show you what I mean by almost no-sew. And the only reason why I had any stitching on here is because I messed up somewhere. But basically, I just took this journal and I'm using a manila envelope, and then just whatever size papers you want. You can definitely use scraps of different colors. Just have your embellishments, and then maybe some, however you want to do your closure, things like that. Maybe some words and shapes and things like that. But in this instance, I am using 4 of my Ko-Fi digitals. One is Old World ephemera sheets. The other one's vintage Paris ephemera and backgrounds. The other one's a printable ephemera tags and labels. That's a freebie. And then the Whispers of Time junk journal kit. And so it's a really simple process. Probably the easiest that I've ever done. And I haven't decorated it or anything. It's just like so super simple. So you have a pocket back here, and this was an envelope, and this is where I had stitched it at, here and here, only because of when I assembled this, I messed up a little bit right in here. So in order to make this flap move and stay without coming apart, I had to stitch it together. But other than that, everything else is just glued. It's like a glued binding from these little old paper bits right here. And then I just added little bits from the Old World ephemera kit and other little embellishments throughout on the pages. Real simple process. And I just left the pages the sizes that they were in the digital, because they do come out a little bit smaller than the size that it is. And what I did when I cut these out, it left kind of like a white like border, and I hate to waste space. So what I did was I kept those white borders, and I just did a little bit of stamping through here, stamping, embossing, and not embossing, but stamping, stenciling, and added some distress sprays and stuff on some of these. That way I wasn't really wasting paper. And then I just added on, you know, some of those other little bits of ephemera, and they're just connected by glue and paper. That's how they're binded. And then you can just add your own embellishments, maybe some folders, some envelopes and tuck spots and things like that. But this is pretty much a simple little old process, and in just a minute I'm going to show you how I did it. So this is a little tuck spot right here. I got music sheets, and that's it. So let me go ahead and show you this quick and easy process video. Okay, so I've gathered some various papers to use with it. Like I do have some like vintage music sheets. What else do I have? Then I have like I have sketchbook paper, coffee dyed paper, just different stuff. So now what I'm going to do for this, the way we're going to assemble this is really, really simple. And I watched a video similar to this that's kind of where I got the idea from, which I've done something like this before, but still, yeah. I've seen another person do theirs like this. So basically, those pieces of scrap that we kept, you know, with the white, and we did the stamping and stenciling, and then the offcuts, the leftovers that had prints from the other side. We're going to be using those to connect some of these. And I'm just going to randomly, I'm just going to cut it and connect. It's similar to how, like if you ever did like Junk Journal July or Junk Journal January, things of that nature, you'll see a lot of people basically just connect their papers using other scraps, you know what I mean? So it's similar to that style. Very easy, you're just gluing. It's like a glue book kind of. And I've got different sizes on purpose because I like how it looks when you have different size papers connected together. So there's the first one, and basically all you got to do is just put your pages in the order in which you want it in your book, and then just start to glue. And you're basically just using scraps is what you're doing. Your main pages and then some scraps. Okay, so now we've got it together, but I need to do something with the spine because it's, yeah. We're going to put the spine together, and I'm just going to use basically, let's see, I'm just going to cut down a little strip of some fabric, and you can use any kind of fabric. And this is approximately 2 inches. And I want it to go around this journal. So let me cut this down to size. And you can use whatever kind of glue. Glue stick does kind of work sometimes with fabric. I've found that it does hold pretty good. But art glitter glue is good, but you can see through it with the art glitter glue. Like the glue runs through. It's transparent. It's almost transparent. You can see the lines. So whereas with the glue stick, it's more smooth. And then I'm going to add a topper to this, so that we'll have like a cover, like a journal cover. So I'm just smoothing this around. And some people add like another piece of fabric, like, you know, just to kind of give it that extra little decoration or whatever. And I have a little piece of this Sur Vagabond fabric. I think I'm just going to take like a little snippet and kind of go around it just to kind of add more to it, because the colors are like a beigeish blue. That's what we have in here. I love those colors. So I think I'll use blue or something with blue in it. I think I'll use this right here. I love all of them. All of them are really pretty fabrics. And let's see. I'm just gonna, this is gonna also go around. So I guess I'll make this 2 inch, roughly 2 inches. And I'm just eyeballing it. And it's not going to go all the way up. It's just going to go kind of like partially down. So. Okay, so now we have our spine and it doesn't look as bad. And then we can put a back and a front on here. And I'm probably going to use just some file folder material. Okay, so I got the manila envelopes, or manila, yeah, it's manila envelope paper. And I cut out the front cover and the back cover, and I want it to sit kind of off like that. That way you can kind of see the spine right there. So I've got to come up with a way to make this open up. So I'm going to make this part of the hinge yeah, I know it's going to get connected. Let's see. And I need something sturdy to make sure that it's not going to come apart. So, okay, so I need an actual hinge, and I'm just going to do this. I'm going to play it by ear, if that makes any sense. I'm just going to fold it over roughly 1/2 inch. Fold it over this way roughly 1/2 inch. You really need to use a scoring board, but I don't have mine, so we're just going to improvise. And I'm going to create like a scrapbook, what do you call those? Whatever they're called. Connector thingies. I can never think of the name of them. But basically, it's going to go like this. That way, it can swing back and forth. I'm just going to glue these together. If I can get my glue to cooperate. Alright, so I'm just going to glue these together. And that's the flap. And then I need to glue these pieces on here. And I'm going to slide it over. Well, yeah, I hate to cover that up, but yeah, I'm gonna have to. So it's gonna come like over in here. Oh, I don't like that. I'll just have to cover this with some washi or something. And then this is going to get glued on here. And then this envelope, I'm just going to kind of cut it down or tear it down. It's going to get glued right here. Actually, let me tear it down a little bit farther. Yeah. Oh, I don't like that. I wonder if I can reposition it, if it's too late to reposition it. Perhaps I can just cut this down, and this will just simply go right here. I don't know if that's going to stay. I might have to stitch that part just to make sure it stays. Yeah, I might have to stitch that little part right there. And then I'm going to add this one. I think I'm just going to put this one directly on to this sheet. Yeah, because it's a lot easier to do. And I'm just going to kind of line it up with this rounded edge. Yeah. All right, so while I'm waiting on this, I'm going to I'm waiting on this to dry. I'm gonna go ahead and let's see. Yeah, this opens. And I'm going to I'm just going to randomly add some of these little things on here. Okay, so we got the stitching, and then I went on ahead and I glued on. Ooh, hope I didn't stick it together. Okay, yeah, I glued on the closure. So I'm just gonna go ahead and tie it while we get ready to work on the topper, the journal topper. And I went on ahead and got some stuff together for the journal topper. And a lot of these are a combination of like coffee dyed paper, and then just bits and bobs from different things. And then I also, in addition to using the old world ephemera sheets and the vintage Paris ephemera backgrounds, I also used some of the Whispers of Time junk journal kit, and that's where the typewriter, this flower, and some of this other stuff comes from. All right, so let me go ahead and move this. And then I also have a tea-dyed tea bag. Tea bag is what it is, yeah. So let me go ahead and I'm going to glue this on just to kind of cover up that stitching right there. So, but yeah, I had to stitch around in order to have some of this stick, just to make sure, for the covers, you know. So, I just found some coffee dyed paper, and I'm just going to glue these on. And of course the back, I'm just going to leave the back pretty simple, because I wanted this whole thing to just basically be a simple journal, simple process. And then I'm just going to glue this little thing on here. And we basically have our little journal, our almost no-sew journal. And we've got our little pocket here that I did stitch to the cover, and then little journal pages. I had to stitch those together because the paper was so thin, and then plus that's part of where the hinge was for the front cover. So, but yeah, this, you can just take scraps. You really don't even have, you can use digitals, but you don't even have to. You just find different pages that you want to use, some scrap papers, and then at whatever size you want, because you can do this at 8.5 by 11, where this one is roughly, these are 7, I think it's 5 by 7, or yeah, these are like 5 by 7 is what they printed out as. And so I left them in that shape because to me it's easier to create like a short little journal, like a traveler's notebook or something. And here you have it. You just have your little pages that are connected simply by using some glue. No stitch. Unless you want to stitch, you can. But and I like how these open up flat, so that if you did want to stitch, you could still, it fits flat enough that you could still run it through your sewing machine. But I'm just going to leave it as is and just go with it. This was one of my easier projects. And it was fun. Sometimes I like to spontaneously do things and not make it as complicated than what it needs to be. But yeah, it's simple little old one signature journal. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and check out my other videos, blog, and Ko-Fi site. And I'll have links in the description of where you can find these. Some of them are freebies. Some of them, it's just a little small price. So once again, thank you guys for watching and happy crafting.